Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for November 5th. We're looking at the US Japanese yen pair. I'm expecting this pair to move during this next session between 167 and on the lower side 96.95. Now look for some resistance to come into this market if it moves higher at around 99.00 and some support. We should see some support come in the market around 97.37. This pair is pretty much moving sideways. It did close down today. I anticipate this sideways motion to continue for at least another session or two. Now looking at the EURUSD pair, this particular pair, don't know if you recall from yesterday, but we had an overextended trade that was triggered here. During our during the video, the market had moved up higher, not fully retracing to the high, but had moved higher. And as what I said was, if you not in the trade, let it pull back and then push forward. If you did that, if you didn't take the trade from the get-go and let it pull back and then move forward, you would have been in a profitable trade. However, if you would have gone in straight from the get-go, you would have been stopped out before it fully retraced. So that's definitely something to take a look at. Of course, if you would have exited half your position at the halfway mark and went to break even, then even if you took it from the get-go, you only would have made profit on the first leg, but basically been stopped out at break even on the others. But moving forward, we're looking at this session moving between 132.03 and 126.76. Look for some resistance around 13000 and look for support around 128.50. Now something else that I am looking at and I want to bring to your attention with this particular pair is that we have a high there and we have a low here, but we also have this going on too. We have some trend lines that you could draw that would basically show you that the market is consolidating down, and if we get a break to the upside here during this next session, we could very likely move to this high over the next couple of sessions. Of course, the same thing with the downside. If we get a break to the downside, we could see it move lower here. So you draw your trend lines and look for a break. Don't know if it'll occur during this session. As you can see, we closed down somewhat of a doji bar after moving back and forth, both high and low range today. If this bar continues in the direction it's going so far and moves lower and then moves lower, we could get a break and see it even go further. But that's what I'm looking at. That's something I'm tracking not only for this pair, but for the pound also. The pound dollar also has this consolidation that is occurring in this pair. And if you draw your trend lines, you can get a feel for where this particular pair we could get some break where this particular pair is going to break out or potentially break out, and also look for targets of those if you have a target of the highs and the lows. It's definitely a good long-term, I say long-term, a couple of sessions trade, more of a swing trade type approach. Now looking at this particular pair, I'm expecting it to move between 1.6301 and on the lower side 155.94. Now look for some resistance to come into this market around 160.50 on the high side and find some support around 157.50. Now let's switch over to the US Swiss. This particular pair moved down today. It is pulling back. I am expecting it to move between 118.29 on the very high side and on the lower side 114.80. Now look for some resistance if this pair moves higher at 116.30 and some support. Look at it to find some support around 115.50 for this particular pair. I'm not sure if this pair is going to continue lower or start moving higher again. we should see it move higher after a couple of days, I believe, of moving lower, but we'll just have to wait and see. Well, that pretty much does it for today. And until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.